the Christian right, and I'm sorry, Perry says he presents the Christian right, and Romney more mainstream Republican. That still doesn't, you don't trust that.
I'll make my homework and come back.
Yes, sir.
I just want to ask this question. It may seem obvious to some people. How come if Palestinian nationalism is a fraud to begin with, then the whole world, and even though they know it's wrong, are they only accepting it because it's a counter against Jewish nationalism?
It's one of the things in history that we will have hundreds of answers how it was created. Remember Golda Meir? She was openly, not politically correct, saying there isn't such a thing as Palestinian nation. That was really the truth in her time. Now to deny that there is a Palestinian nation, it's a waste of time. They are accepted by the world as a nation, and they recognize themselves, and I'm sure that our war and their war with us crystallized them, gave them something unique. They don't have different language, not different religion, not different history. Now they have something. The war against the Jews really is the common denominator of the Palestinians. So they have something in the history and the recognition of the world. I am sure that a lot of people in the world enjoy support this concept, this nation, because they understand that it undermines the Jewish presence in Israel. I'm all for ending the occupation, by the way. I didn't speak about it. I don't want the occupation to go on. The Muslim occupation of the land of Israel. I don't want it.
Time for one more question. Yes, sir.
Doctor, would you be able to comment about two entities in the state of Israel or in the U.S.? One is the Supreme Court as an obstacle to, even if Obama is not elected again, and you have a friendly president, and assuming that the Israeli population votes as they have for the right, you still have two challenges. One is the New Israel Fund, the other one is the Israeli Supreme Court. Do you be able to comment on both of those challenges, if you will?
Will be able, within a few years, to change the shape of the Supreme Court. That's why Dorit Beinish, the president of the Supreme Court right now, is so furious, but she has nothing she can do about it. It's the way we shaped it now is not that each one of them is elected by politicians like here, but both sides, the politicians and the judges, can veto any decision. So it will be balanced. If they want their candidates, we will have our candidates. So gradually, it will not be unilateral. Right now, it's a friend brings in another friend, and it's a nomination instead of election. This, at least now, we have an established method to change it. It won't happen in one day. We still suffer terribly from the decisions of the Supreme Court in Israel. But we will try. It's a balance of threats between the Supreme Court and the Knesset, continuous one. They threat to cancel our bills, and we threat to limit their power. It will be a gradual change. A more difficult issue is the disease that New Israel Fund. It's not by mistake that they call themselves New Israel. They want New Israel. They want to reshape the state of Israel to post-Zionism, sometimes anti-Zionism. And it's very difficult to prevent people from getting funds and support humanistic project, and sometimes they do welfare and education. It's always a mixture of projects, mixture of hundreds of NGOs that they support. But the common denominator of all these NGOs that they look at the Israel as something that must be reformed and not for the better. Just to finish, I want to put some light on the social demonstrations in Israel. We had hundreds of thousands of people. Most of these organizations that started it were supported by the New Israel Fund. I met one of the colonels in the IDF, and he asked me, did I notice that in the past 2 months or so, there are hardly any demonstrations in Bil'in. Bil'in, it's an Arab village near the fence, where every Friday they had demonstrations supported by international anarchists, Israel left, Palestinians, and the same thing, there were hardly any provocation in the south of Hebron, Mount of Hebron, that every week the Israeli farmers suffered from provocation. I said, no, I didn't notice it. He said, they are all in Tel Aviv. Now, in Tel Aviv, in the tents, in the demonstration. So they can't do both. Once they'll be out of the tent, they will come back to create provocation in Judea and Samaria.
All right, I want to thank Dr. Arieh Eldad again for his visit to our shul and his very important words, and urge you all to please do support the work of the One Israel Fund. It not only saves lives, but it also betters the lives of the Jews living in the heartland of the land of Israel. Thank you very much for coming, and the struggle goes on. Nice to see you again.